So today what we're going to do is we are going to use the Trace Jolie Mixed Media Kit to create something fun that you can go ahead and display in your home. Now you can get a frame that is 8.5 by 11, and we're going to be using the watercolor paper in conjunction with the metallic watercolor paint with the small little canvas panel. And we're going to be using this rice paper. And oh my gosh, this rice paper is so pretty. And I'm hoping that this turns out the way that I envision it. So we're just going to go with it, okay? So I hope that you like today's project, y'all, and stay tuned and join me. Okay, so this is going to be a super simple project, you guys. So we're going to use both of these rice papers. The first one we're just going to glue onto your thick piece of watercolor paper, okay? If you have a 110-pound cardstock, you can do that as well. And then we're going to glue this on, and then we're going to cut it down a little bit. Or actually, you know what? We might leave it. I think we're going to leave it, but we are going to cut off some of the bottom part. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just put on some of my Mod Podge. Okay, I'm just grabbing my Mod Podge and I'm just going to place this on here. And this is going to be a really nice little framed home decor that you can put in a hallway, a bathroom, you know, something like that. And I know I'm making a big mess. Just trying to get this on here. So yeah, so this is going to be a really nice little home decor that you can just do right away in a few minutes. So next we're going to go ahead and grab our paper and we're going to set it on top of here. And I'm going to go ahead and, hold on, let's see here. Okay, I'm fighting with everything on my desk here, you guys. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to place this on here. Okay, just like so. All right, and you're just going to smooth that out. Okay, just smooth it out with your hands. All right, and then we'll apply the rest of the glue to the other side. So we have one more side. We didn't quite get this over here. So we're just going to lift this up. And I'm just going to place this glue down. If you're using a sponge like me, you can go ahead and kind of dab it on there because sponges kind of tend to hold on to this, and so you can just tap it on there and it'll squeeze off of your little sponge. Okay, there we go. Just like that, y'all. And that is it. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to let this dry, right? We are going to go ahead and let this dry. You shouldn't have any air bubbles or anything like that on here. It should be really good to go. So you're just going to smooth this down. Okay, just like that. And we're going to let this dry before we cut it. Okay, so for our next thing, what we're going to do is we are going to grab the small canvas that you got inside of your kit, and you are going to go ahead and you're going to paint a little bit of the watercolor on top of here. Now, it doesn't matter whatever colors you want to use. Because there's pink and blues in here, I might go ahead and use either this pink and then some of this, I guess I don't know what color that is, like a light purple kind of color. And it's not really like I guess a lavender, right? So that's what I'm planning on doing. So I'm just going to make sure that your reservoir is filled with water. If it is not filled with water, go ahead and take this out, just like that. And you'll go ahead and I'm just going to grab water from my water sprayer here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and wipe on some of the paint here, just like this. And I'm not really no rhyme or reason to, how I'm putting it on. I'm just kind of dabbing it and then swirling it onto my canvas. Now, if you want to, you can use a bigger paintbrush if you want. I just decided to use this because it has the water built into the little pen. And so I was like, just go ahead and use that. And you can always squirt the water on top to spread it out a little bit more. So if you wanted more of a wet look, you could definitely do that. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab some of my pink. And I'm just going to go in the areas where there's kind of like no pink. So where there's no pink is where I'm going to kind of blend it in. And mainly it's on the edges here, which is perfect because I want some of this pink to kind of show. Okay, so you're just going to go ahead and continue painting your small canvas with your watercolors. And I'm adding a bit of pink and purples on there just to kind of brighten it up because we are going to be, adding some pink items to this little canvas. And then you can go ahead and in between your painting, you can go ahead and use your heat gun to kind of dry it so you can get the desired look that you want. Okay, once you're done with your canvas, you're going to go ahead and wet the rice paper that has the words on it, and you're going to wet around it. And I just kind of sprayed a little bit of water on a napkin and then went around it, as you see here. And then you're just going to go ahead and tear off the rice paper until you get it the way you want it. And then I'm going to go ahead and place some Mod Podge on the back of this, and then I'm going to stick this down on top of the small canvas we just painted. Okay, so now you're going to go ahead and wet your little tissue or your paper towel, and you're going to go ahead and go around your flowers and then tear them off just like you did with the words. And you're going to go ahead and form around the flowers. So I go ahead and just place a little bit of water around and then just tear the rice paper off, and it comes off pretty easily. And you're going to do that for all of the little flowers. Okay, so once you're done getting all of your flowers cut out of the rice paper area, then you're going to go ahead and place them down like I'm doing here. And they're going to sit on top of your little canvas. Now, one thing that I did do is I went ahead and I placed some foam tape on the back of these so they would be a little bit raised. I went ahead and cut out the smaller flowers too, just in case we were going to use them. So the next thing I did is I went ahead and inked the edges of the rice paper using the Distressed Ink Kitsch Flamingo. And I did that for all of or for both flowers. Okay, next I went ahead and placed some tape, double back tape on the back of the small canvas. And then you're going to go ahead and I put 3 strips on, burnished it down really well, and then you're going to go ahead and remove the backing, and we're going to place this on top of the watercolor paper that we covered with the large rice paper. Now I did add some glue to the back of this, and this is just to help maneuver it and to kind of get a really solid uh, adhesive down when you stick it down, okay? Okay, after you get this stuck down, I went ahead and went around the little words with the flamingo catch again, just so it would brighten it up a little bit and you can see it. So I just think it looks really pretty. I know it looks kind of weird right here,
but you can see it. And I did add a little bit of the pink and scattered it throughout the canvas. Now this is where I added my foam tape to the back of the rice paper flowers, and I just think this looks so pretty, you guys. Once it gets set in, it is so pretty. And you don't have to decorate it like I did. You can do however you want. I just think these papers look really pretty on top of the canvas, and it just makes it just a really stunning little framed art. So here is the second piece, and you do want to go ahead and measure like where you're going to actually stick your foam tape, if you use foam tape, on the back of your pieces, just so that way you get them angled right. And you can, once you have it down, you can always go back under, kind of lift it up like I'm doing here, and put a little piece here and there if you want to. So, you know, once you get it stuck down, you can always do that. I just think this looked so pretty with these little flowers on here on that top of that canvas. It just looks so pretty. Now you can definitely leave it like this, or you can add a couple of little butterflies and then be done, or you can kind of jazz it up like I'm doing. So here I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to be playing some music as I decorate.
All right, y'all, so we're done with this little picture canvas that we created, and I think it turned out pretty cool. I love that I added the little stones and then added the paint, the blue paint on top of it, as well as some of the purple and the pink. I think it brought it all together and it looks amazing. And I hope that you guys like it too. I think it's just so pretty. And this little thing here says, she felt invisible, unheard, and small until she decided to be herself. And I just think that is so stinking cute. And of course, we can go ahead ahead and you can get an 8.5 by 11 frame and frame this. You can go ahead and cut it down if you want to and mat it, however you want to do this. I just think this is a really super cute little crafty item that you can make for somebody or place it in your home, your craft room. And we added some of the stones. Now these stones are art stones. This is by Finnabar, and you can grab some of these, or if you have the kit that these came in, you can definitely use these. These last you forever, y'all, forever. Then I went ahead and mixed two of the paints together, the blue sky and the Caribbean, to go ahead and create the color that is matched on the blue little flowers here. We also used our watercolor paints. We used the watercolor paints for the canvas and then for some of the stone beads that we placed on. And then I went ahead and used my Kitsch Flamingo Distressed Oxide ink. So those are the items that you'll need, as well as flowers and your canvas, your watercolor paper, and then your rice paper from the mixed media kit this month. Okay, so this is what the little canvas looks like when it's in a frame. And I used an 8.5 by 11 frame and then just cut down the paper to where it fits inside of here. So I just wanted to share with you real quick what it looked like. Thank you all so much for joining me. Take care, and I have all the links down below, and I will be talking to you soon. Bye!
Thank y'all so much for joining me today. I have some more fun crafty videos for you right here. And please subscribe, comment, and leave a thumbs up. Thank y'all so much for joining me, and head on over to Trace Jolie Shop to check out all the latest kits.